Hello vinyl community, how you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. This video is for Joe over at the Analog Archive. Joe is hosting a contest for reaching the goal of 100 subscribers. So congratulations, Joe. Well done. I see now you're past 150. So congratulations on gaining some new subscribers from this contest. Really love your channel. You're great, very informative, very well spoken. I learn a lot from watching your videos. Joe is big into jazz, so it's great seeing Joe's collection and hear him talk about the albums. So great channel, Analog Archive. If you aren't familiar with Joe, his channel Analog Archive, the link is down below, and I highly recommend that you check him out. Joe's just a great guy, and he's got a really good channel. So, especially if you're into jazz, check him out. Really, really great stuff. Like I said, I'm learning from Joe a lot, and a while back he did a great video on the different labels throughout the years of Blue Note, and that was a really, really great video. I highly recommend that one too. So this contest, three questions, and it's pretty straightforward, so I'm just going to kind of go through these. The first question was show your favorite live album. So my favorite live album, not too much of a surprise here, but it's Genesis Seconds Out. This came out in 1977. After their Wind and Wuthering tour. So most of the songs are from that tour, and then there's a carryover track from the previous tour, 1976. But yeah, this is phenomenal. I love everything about this album, right down to the picture here on the cover. This pressing came out last year, 2019, from Abbey Road Studios. It's a half-speed master, and it's really, really wonderful. They did a really good job with this. But Genesis at this point, Phil Collins was now the lead singer. You can see him here. After Peter Gabriel had left. So it's kind of, they're still playing some of the Peter Gabriel era songs. And that's one of the reasons why I really like this. The band sounds great, and just a really great live album, and I love it. So that answers question number one. So moving on to number two. Show an album by a solo artist who was also in a famous band. So, let's see. I picked Steve Howe. Steve Howe, the great guitarist. This is his second solo album, I believe, Beginnings. But he is most notably known for playing in the band Yes for many, many years, and he's still in the band. Had a couple times he left, but then came back into the band. But he's also played in a few other bands, like Tomorrow. This was pre-Yes. Asia, a great 80s supergroup. And he was also in the band GTR. That's him right there, along with Steve Hackett, former guitarist of Genesis. So, number two answer is Steve Howe. Now, moving on to the final question. Show one or two favorite finds from a record store versus one or two finds from online. So, just for you, Joe, I'm going to make this answer all jazz. And so pickups from a record store. I grabbed a couple here, a couple of favorite finds. This one was really cheap from record store I used to go to that's now closed as of the end of last year. And I kind of picked this up when he was closing his store. And, you know, just everything was discounted. I got this for a couple dollars. Cover is kind of worn, but the vinyl plays great, and it's Ornette Coleman, Science Fiction. Really, really wonderful album with great players on here, including Ed Blackwell, Billy Higgins, Dewey Redman, Charlie Hayden, Don Cherry. Just a lot of great names play on this album. Ed Blackwell, the drummer, man, he's got a lot of energy on this album. It's really, really, really great. So yeah, really cheap find, and was so surprised to see it and pick it up. It was, at the time, it was a blind buy, but for just a couple bucks, I couldn't pass it up and leave it there. And I was so pleasantly surprised when I played it how wonderful it is. So Ornette Coleman, Science Fiction. Another great find from last year at Siren Records, that kind of my main record store that I go to now. Kulu Say Mama from John Coltrane. This is an original stereo pressing from 1966. Yeah, wonderful album here. Side one is kind of, it's the track Kulu Say Mama takes up the entire track. It's kind of a spiritual, not quite free, but it's I'll just say it's kind of spiritual. Takes up the whole side of one. Great track. And then side two is the classic Coltrane Quartet, playing on side two on 2 tracks, Vigil and Welcome, and wonderful album by Coltrane here, one of my favorites. So those are 2 great scores from a record store, and now we also wanted 2 finds from online. So I'm not gonna lie, I've bought a lot of stuff online over the past few years. But here are a couple cool ones. First, tremendous album here by Benny Green. It's Soul Stirrin'. This is Blue Note 1599, $15.99. This is a Japanese reissue from 1983 from the King Record Company, and what a pressing this is. Really, really beautiful. But the album itself is awesome. I love this album. You have Benny Green on trombone, G. Amons and Billy Root on tenor sax, Sonny Clark on piano, Ike Isaacs on bass, and Elvin Jones on drums. So, wonderful album here, and I was so happy to have picked this one up, and it's really in pretty minty condition, so near mint on both the jacket and the vinyl. Love this album. And then a couple years ago, more than a couple years ago, I heard Teddy over at Eat Sleep Vinyl talk about this album, and I just had to get it after hearing him talk about it. And after a year or 2 of searching for it, I finally tracked it down on eBay. It's a Japanese copy of Max Roach Quartet, Namo. So Namo, it's 1 track, goes across both sides. This is a live recording from the Max Roach Quartet from 1976, and this album came out in 1978. It's kind of hard to find, but I'm so happy that I tracked a copy down, and it just so happens that it's a RCA, it's a Victor white label promo there. You see that? Speaking of energy, this album, these guys just, once they get started, it's just like full blown, full speed, just wonderful album here with Cecil Bridgewater on trumpet, Billy Harper on tenor sax, Reggie Workman on bass, and then of course Max Roach on drums. Highly recommend this album if you can ever track it down. It did come out in the US on Inner City, but this is a Japanese pressing, an original Japanese pressing. So it's from a concert in 1976 from Switzerland. But yeah, it's wonderful. So that is my answer to the 3 questions. Congratulations once again, Joe. Best luck to you and your channel. It's great. I really do enjoy your videos and your knowledge and what you share. So definitely looking forward to more of your videos. And thanks for having this contest. And with that, I'm going to sign off here. And everyone take care. Check out Joe's channel. Links down below. All right, everyone. Take care. Bye.